Greetings, kings, queens, in-betweens, and neither beings. If you're not American, you might have noticed some of your American friends breathing a little easier today. And if you are American, yay, the election's over, thank fuck. In typical Jesse fashion, I was taking shirtless pictures when it was announced. And if you follow me on Twitter, you might have noticed that I single-handedly saved the country. Wow, I am a fucking hero. Truly the greatest patriot that ever lived. The Patriot. Patronut. Ooh, you know what? I was going to talk about the election for the cold open, but I have something better that I want to talk about. This morning, I was thinking about that scene from Aladdin where Jasmine is trying to distract Jafar because she sees Aladdin trying to sneak in. It's like near the end of the movie. She's trying to be all sexy with Jafar to like distract him and be like, wow, I'm a woman. Blah. I haven't seen the movie in a while. Bear with me. She's playing into his base instincts of being like, yeah, you're a man and I totally want you. Never mind all the things I was saying before, Jafar. You're actually real hot. And at one point when he's about to see Aladdin, she kisses Jafar in order to distract him. And then Jafar's like, ooh, that was... and then sees Aladdin in a reflection. It's like, what the fuck? And I was thinking about it this morning, and I realized, do you think Jafar was hard? Do you think Jafar had a boner? And then Aladdin just fucking ruined it. Do you think when he whipped around to see Aladdin, he just had like a full, like half-mast or like a chub or like fucking something was going on there? Cause she kissed him. And I fully believe he's the kind of guy who would just immediately get hard from that. And I'm gonna be thinking about this for the rest of my life, I think. I feel if the camera had panned out just a little bit more, we could have seen something. Just Jafar rocking that fucking, his snake staff just fully erect. Anyway, let's get to the video, I guess. This is another one of those episodes that I've had rolling around in my brain for a bit where I was like, I want to talk about that eventually, but I don't want to like start it until I have a more fleshed out idea. And then this morning I got really inspired because a friend of mine on Twitter was actually talking about it. He's also a content creator and he posed the question, at what point does hundreds of people telling you that you're bad become the truth? Can you really just write them off as haters? What volume of people, when does it become reality? And it's a very legit question because at any point in all of our lives, I feel like we get kind of like fucking gaslit into believing something that might not actually be true. High schoolers do it all the time. High school is full of people who just want you to be like them or be a certain way. And if there are enough kids telling you that you're bad and that your individualism is incorrect, you'll change yourself. And it's such a shame because that's the kind of stuff that makes us unique. Why would we all want to be the same? Why would we want to do what the popular kids are doing? Usually it's just kind of a power, a head trip kind of thing for them. They want to feel like they have control over something or someone, so they bully people. People are insecure. It is a tale as old as time. People will continue to be insecure for the rest of our lives. The important thing is that we're able to recognize it. I've wasted so much time obsessing over this exact thing, whether people liked me or not. What? Jesse has these thoughts? Yes, Jesse does have these thoughts. I know that I'm a kind of person who's a bit universally loved, and that's what's so frustrating about the situation. I'm super chill, I don't have an evil bone in my body, and yet I am always wondering, am I good? Am I actually secretly shit and I just don't know it? Absolutely anyone can have these thoughts, and I feel that is something that we need to recognize in order to feel better about it ourselves. No one is safe. No one is safe from these fucking thoughts, and it sucks. And the funny thing is that the only people who dislike me are bad people. They are people that everyone else fucking hates, and they don't like me, and that makes me feel bad about myself. Why? Why should that matter? There has never, ever been a situation where there was a good person that was like, I don't like Jesse for some reason. And I think that is something important for me to realize. So hey, this is a teaching exercise for you as much as it is for me. Bad people don't like me. Good people do like me. That should be a compliment. It should be a compliment if someone doesn't like me, because I don't like them. I wouldn't want them to like me. It would say something bad about me if they did like me. But we're all human, and we have thoughts and feelings, and they can be hurt, and it works its way into your brain. Even if you know that it's not realistic, you will still have those thoughts of like, but am I good? Do they have a point? Is it vain of me to just completely write it off and call them haters? And it's total bullshit because most of the time, even if their arrow fucking misses me, I will pick up the arrow and use it to hurt myself. I will re-aim it to harm myself. I do the work for them. So even if they miss their target, it hits because of things I am actively doing. And that's silly. It's a silly thing. Why do we do the silly thing? Well, let's talk about that. Let's dissect it, and we'll see why it is that as humans, sometimes we pick up the weapon that was meant to hurt us to use it on ourselves. And before we do that, I think it would be helpful for us to separate all of these critiques, quote unquote, into categories. This way we can better understand them and figure out if they are legitimate or not. I'll provide some general examples and also some personal examples, and hopefully that will be able to help you. The first category of critiques we're going to call garbage. It's just garbage, and it goes in the garbage. This includes bigotry, body shaming, just stuff that is not substantial. Things that cannot change or will not change without like a ton of extra work where it's also just none of your business. And also things that just aren't factually true. You want to know something extremely fucked up? People can lie. I know, right? That's what? It fucking blows my mind every time I realize this about life, that people can just say whatever the fuck they want. Whether it's true or not, they can just say it. We have that power over our bodies. Watch this. I don't like having sex with women. What? I just said that? It's a lie. Fucking love women so much, but I could say it. You might not have believed it because I am very bad at lying, and also it felt weird coming out of my mouth, but you can do that. You can force a lie out of your mouth at any given moment, and especially on the internet where you're able to type, and it's easier to deceive people. If you're my friend or you're close to me in any capacity, you know that one of my biggest weaknesses is that I cannot lie, which makes playing Among Us with me it contains its own challenges. I can't lie, so I just sound exactly the same. I sound super sus whether I'm lying or not, and it creates... Watch Team 4 Stars playing of it once that comes out. I'm in a batch that's coming out, and I play with them, and you'll see. And that's what I was talking about before. I am pretty much universally liked, but there are still people who don't like me because of lies that other people have told them about me. And for a long time, that fucked with me so much. I could not understand. Like, my brain couldn't process people lying about me. Why? Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. I'm a nice guy. I'm chill. I try to do the good thing all the time. Why would someone go out of their way to say something mean about me? And luckily, that means that most of the time it's not believed. You can spend any amount of time with me and be like, oh, that was probably bullshit. But then that in itself also fucks with my imposter syndrome, because there are really bad, evil, shitty people out there who are very nice to people and then behind their backs are doing really bad shit. So even though I know that I am a good person and that I always try to do the right thing, even though I know all of this is fact, I still have this thought in the back of my head where I'm like, maybe I am bad, which is absolutely ridiculous. I know I'm not bad, but when someone repeats something a number of times, you start to believe it a little. Personal example, me and my abuser used to work for the same company, and when things started hitting the fan and I was like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore, something inside of his brain broke and he started trying to make everyone fucking hate me. He actually started a bunch of rumors and went around the company saying bad things about me and trying to get me fired. I think he kind of saw it as like a divorce kind of thing where he's like, I need to do damage control right now and make sure that everyone hates Jesse. But the issue is that I am so universally liked, you can't do that. You can't just lie about me without any proof of anything. So he got caught by multiple people in the company. And not only did he get caught, that also discovering this thing made them backtrace and realize a bunch of other bad things that he had been doing inside the company. So now he inadvertently revealed a bunch of skeletons in his closet. And then there was so much bad shit that they couldn't not fire him. And it's great because I was a little worried that we were working at the same company and I was like, I just don't want to deal with this fucking guy anymore. But he did the work for me, which was great. And I didn't know any of this shit was happening, which is funny. When I found out, I called him and like just bitched him out over the phone and was like, why are you fucking doing this? You're a terrible person. Stop lying to me about everyone. You suck. And then a bit after that, I got a message like 10 minutes before they were going to have this big call where they fired him. And they messaged me. It was like, hey, just so you know, we're going to be firing him for these multiple reasons. And we wanted to let you know since no one's been telling you anything. And I was like, good, great, awesome. Because at that point I couldn't argue. I had been internally trying to figure out, should I bring this up? Is this a company issue? Like, because I'm not on good terms with him and I don't want to work at the same company as him. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But luckily, I didn't even have to think about it because he imploded and did all of the work for me. So I was like, all right, cool. Fire him. Yes, he's a bad guy and he's done very bad things inside the company. Maybe I will finally get some fucking peace. Nope. Should have known that wouldn't be the case. About a year after this happened, we got proof that he has been telling people that I got him fired, which is... I've spent so much time processing that. Because I mean, yes, if you want to get into the technicalities, I suppose that I am the cause of you not having a job anymore. But that's because of things that you did. You didn't have to spread rumors about me. You didn't have to lie about me. You didn't have to go to people. What part of your brain? It's so funny, and it's also just so weird and sad. I've spent so much time thinking about it, trying to think of like what possesses someone to think like that. And in the end, I realized, no, he's just a crazy person. Don't think about it. Don't think about it too much. Crazy people do crazy shit. But I guess it just frustrates me so much because if you're going to lie about something, don't lie about something that can be so easily disproven. There is so much proof. There's not just a little proof. There is so much proof that is not true. Why would you lie about something like that? There are chat logs, voice recordings, there's files and files there are countless witnesses. There are at least 30 people that you did this in front of or went to and told about things. You what? Lie about something that can't be so easily disproven, bud. It's literally that fucking meme where Eric Andre just like shoots someone on the couch and then is like, why did they do this? And you know what's even more ridiculous about all of that? It made me feel bad. It made me feel bad that he was saying that I got him fired. Why would that make me feel bad? I know that's not true. There's a post going around Twitter the other day that was like, there are people out there who hate you because of lies someone has told about you. And that's, wow, really fucking hit the nail on the head. That's insane. I didn't think I'd still be having to deal with bullies outside of high school, but apparently we do. We gotta deal with it. It's so weird and childlike, like immature doesn't... that the word doesn't really capture it fully. You're just a baby. You're just a fucking baby. If you have to go out in the world and make up things about other people so you feel better, it fucks me up every day thinking about the fact that some people are just evil. Some people need to pretend and convince themselves that you're a bad person so they feel better about the bad things that they did to you. That fucks me up, man. That fucks me up because you also start to believe it after a while. If enough people tell you the same thing over and over, sometimes you start to believe it. And you know what? If it was just you, that's fucked up enough. But when it involves other people, you really need to look at the situation realistically. Because I didn't say this, I didn't voice my concerns of this thing that I'm about to say. But if I had gone to them, these people that were involved in all of this, that he had gone to and told lies to and all of this fucking bullshit, if I'd gone to them and been like, well, maybe he's not such a bad guy. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe it was like a misunderstanding. They would have gone to me and been like, no, I know what he told me. I know what he said. He actively did all of these bad things to us and to the company. And that's not fair to them. That's me gaslighting them, which is super fucked up. Someone gaslights me and then I gaslight them. It's a chain that fucking happens, but it's awful. That's not fair to them. They know what they saw. They know what he said to them. They know the experiences that they have had. It is incorrect of me to come along and be like, well, maybe not. That's what flying monkeys are. Did you know? Just Google it. It's a psychology term. I actually didn't know the term until somewhat recently when I started talking about stuff like in therapy. I know I'm getting a little off topic. Trust me, it's all connected. That's what my videos are. They're weird little rants that don't have a real timeline, and then they go all over the fucking place. Jeremy Baramy. Eventually, we end up at the point. In abusive situations, flying monkeys are like minions. They're people that your abuser convinces of their rhetoric or that you are a bad person or whatever, and then they go out and do the bidding. A flying monkey. It's a Wizard of Oz reference. And I am becoming a flying monkey indirectly for a bad person if I'm coming along and telling them that they didn't experience. Of course they experienced the things that they experienced. It's important for us to be realistic about these situations because it involves us and our thoughts and feelings, but especially if it involves other people. We don't want to cause indirect harm to someone else just because we're insecure about something. Okay, we handled the not true checkbox. Let's go backwards a little bit to the other categories inside this category. The category inside the category, bullet points. I mean bullet points. Let's look back at the other bullet points inside this category. If they are critiquing something about you that you cannot change, or it will not change, or it's something that is integral to you, that's bullshit. If you're black, someone comes on your page and is like, I don't like black people. Black people shouldn't be making videos. That's a bad thing to say, and it's not good. It's not good. There's no value in that. There's zero value in that. That goes in the garbage.
I don't like fat people, and you're fat, so you shouldn't be making videos, or you shouldn't be speaking your mind.
Garbage. It's in the garbage. Throw it in the garbage. If someone doesn't like me because I'm pansexual, or I'm trans, or I'm autistic, that's garbage. There is no validity to these critiques, quote unquote. It's not critiques, it's just you being an asshole. Someone else's ignorance or intolerance should not affect how you make content, or you talk about shit, or exist in the world.
Yeah, it's cool that he's gay, but why does he have to make everything about gay stuff?
Guess what I'm gonna say? It's garbage. It's garbage, it goes in the garbage. Like I said in episode 13, I'm not gonna try to convince a transphobe to fucking like me. I spent so much of my life convincing myself to like me. I don't have the time or the energy for you. Someone comes to me and says, hey, I like your content. Could you talk less about trans people? Then, no, you don't actually like my content. You like what my content could be. You're in love with the idea of my content, and I appreciate that, but this is unhealthy for both of us. Trust me, there are plenty of frustrating amount of trans creators out there that hate trans people. You can watch their content. The next category is, let's call it peas. I don't like peas. Sometimes I think about peas and I'm like, well, maybe I could have some. If it's in a dish and I don't want to, like, there's too many peas, I don't want to like sort through all of it and get rid of the peas. I guess I'll just eat the peas and deal with it. But then eventually I'm like, no, it's too much peas. No, thank you. These are things that might be true, but they're not worth stressing over. Maybe it shouldn't be called peas. Maybe I should think more about what I should call it. Maybe not. It's cool. Let's keep going. That's a Nowacking video. Onwards and upwards. We don't print retractions. This is all the film I have to work with. All this digital film. We have to go. We have to just keep going. Can you change this thing about you? Should you? Does it take away from what makes you unique? I'm trying to think of a personal example for this one. I think I need to make one up. This is when someone says something like, you have an annoying laugh. There might be some legit thought behind that, but something like that is subjective. It's not an objective thing that you have an annoying laugh. Some people find enjoyment in your laugh. Some people really like your laugh. If you have a really distinctive laugh, that's something in your content that people might look forward to or recognize you for. There's a saying that goes, you shouldn't point out something about someone's appearance unless they can fix it in 10 seconds. Got a little smooch on your nose? Yeah, don't worry, point it out, they can fix that. You got weird eyebrows? That's just their eyebrows, bud. That's just mean. Even if it is something productive that can be fixed over time, like if someone has bad acne and you're like, you have bad acne. It's a rude way to say it, but I'll play devil's advocate for a second. Even if it can be fixed, you are creating an insecurity in a person. Now they're going to think about that. That's going to be on their mind. They're going to think that they are bad until they're able to change that. And we already do that so much to ourselves. We don't need a stranger to come along and give it validation. If someone is asking for you to change the entirety of your content for them, it might not be for them. Same thing goes for your personality or you as a person. It would be absolutely insane if I were vegan and I went to a steakhouse and wrote a scathing review for them because there was nothing I could eat there. That's an issue with me. It's not an issue with them. And I could have the salad. There's not nothing I could have eaten. There's some value that some people can take with you or with your content, but if it's not for them, it's not for them. And they shouldn't ask you to change because of that. That's the middle. That's the peas. And finally, the last category. Legit criticism. This could be a friend of yours who is a minority of some kind coming to you and being like, hey, how you're talking is maybe a little something. Maybe you could watch out for this one thing. Maybe there's a little bit of anti-Semitism just kind of baked into your dialogue that you're not thinking about. Or, hey, the way that you keep talking about the gender binary kind of sucks because you're not being inclusive of non-binary people or something like that. This could be legit. This could be something to just keep an eye on. Watch out for. We all got shit we gotta unlearn, whether it's because of our upbringing or whatever. Doesn't make you a bad person. Just means you're someone who, honestly, it makes you a good person if you're noticing the things and if you're willing to listen and change. So good on you that you are seriously thinking about and considering it. Now, sometimes it can be false. Sometimes it's something that you don't need to worry about, but it's up to you as a person to do the research and find out. I don't speak for all trans people. There's shit that I get wrong sometimes. And it's up to me as a person to examine that shit, look, have an internal thing, and fix it. Personal example, I'm working on my show right now, and it takes a bit to get to the intro. With the episodes I'm working on right now, sometimes it takes 10 or 15 minutes of the cold open, quote unquote, to get to the intro. And that could be a legit concern of someone who's watching my content to be like, hey, it takes you a bit long to get to the intro. And I've thought a lot about it, but I think I am considering I kind of like it that way. And that's good that I considered their critique and I looked inside myself and was like, oh, I understand why someone would think that, but for the thing that I'm trying to create specifically, it kind of I like it. And that's why I'm gonna keep it. If it was hurting someone else's feelings, then we'd have to look a bit deeper into that. But if it's just me and it's a creative decision, I feel like I have the authority to veto or unveto. Keep words. So what have we learned from all of this? I think if you take anything away from this video, it should be that if someone goes out of their way to say a mean thing about you, it says way more about them than it does about you. That's an issue with who they are as a person. If they're saying anything that is garbage or peas, God, why did I title these things the way that I did? If it's anything from the first two categories, that's an issue with them as a person. Whether it's your personality or content you're creating, there's the silent majority. The majority of people know you or know of your stuff and don't say anything because they think that it's obvious. They're sitting there thinking, wait, why would I go out of my way to tell you that you're cool or funny? Isn't that assumed? I thought everyone knew that. Why would I have to say that? And here's another fucked up thing. There are always people. There are always going to be people who want to hurt you for no fucking reason, except that they are insecure about themselves. There will absolutely always be someone who wants to put someone else down so that they feel better about themselves. I was best friends with someone like that for a decade, and I didn't realize how much it was poisoning my mindset. He ragged on fucking everyone. His comedy was just mean. That was his style. He loved just being mean. It brought him genuine pleasure, and he thought that he was funny because of it. And it took years of therapy and getting away from that for me to realize, hey, that's not very nice. And that's why no one fucking liked him. And that's why no one believed when he told lies about me. Khaleesi. Oh, hello. Oh, she's giving me a little kiss. You give me a little kiss on my hand? Yeah, what? Oh, really good. You know what? This cat likes me. And that's all I need in life. All you need is just an animal that loves you. Cats can't be transphobic. They just love you. And I think that's neat. Millions of people are wrong about science and numbers and fact, things that we can prove and disprove. And that just shows that people can be wrong even in high numbers. It's so unfair because people like us are hardest on ourselves. My friend that I was telling you about at the beginning of this video who inspired me to like actually sit down on my ass and fucking make it. He's like one of the sweetest fucking dudes on the planet. And I as well, I'm very chill. You know me. It's weird if I say that I'm nice, but you know what? Gosh darn it, I am nice. And why should we be obsessed with like one mean thing that someone has said to us or said to us a bunch of times or whatever? Why should we have to suffer through this when there are legit really bad people out there who never think about it once in their lives? They're just going off being fuckheads and not caring about anyone, and they never have to have deep introspective fucking crises. It's not fair. It's not fair. I gotta have countless sleepless nights just staring up at the ceiling being like, maybe I am a terrible person, and a legit terrible person never doubts themselves and they just get to exist in the fucking world just being like, I'm doing a great job. Bullshit. It's bullshit. But honestly, hearing my happier, more upbeat, likable friends talk about the exact issues I was having, it helped me realize stuff about myself. If they're having these thoughts, maybe it's okay that I am too. And that's my hope for this video, is that you see someone like me talking about depression or imposter syndrome, and you realize, oh, like I said at the beginning of the video, no one is safe. A really important thing to remember is that this shit can hurt your feelings. Don't think it won't. It's jarring. And it's totally normal to feel bad, even if you know it isn't true, even if there is hard, concrete proof that it isn't true. It still hurts. We have feelings. It's unsettling and confusing to be living your life and then all of a sudden someone comes along and is antagonistic towards you. Even if they have no bearing, it feels bad. I think I said this in a previous video, but sometimes one mean voice can sound way louder than 1,000 lovely ones. Sometimes we don't notice all of the nice comments, whether they're just not said because they think it's obvious, or sometimes they are said and there's so many of them, and yet there's one or two mean things that just feel like it outnumbers them. Be gentle with yourselves. Don't feel bad for feeling bad. The bad guys don't feel bad when they're actually bad. Why should you feel bad when you're not even bad? The act of feeling it isn't bad. We just need to process it and put it in the right category. Brains are weird, right? Everything's weird. This is a weird time we're living in. I hope that you are drinking water, just in general, but I feel 2020 is the year we all just need to drink water. Everyone hydrate. I love you. Stay safe. Maybe watch Aladdin with my commentary in mind. In typical Jesse faction. In typical Jesse faction. Why do I keep saying faction? I'd like to give a special shout out to my silver sponsors, Dan Millington, Luke Rizik, Jean-Baptiste Rousey, Dane McRae, Alex Buhner, Pocket Jawa, Yvonne Herrera, Babblepon, Giselle Nera, and Andrew Dunn. I'd also like to give a special shout out to gold sponsors, Sam Bartram, Danielle Gormley, Marie Byrne, Brandon Young, Doran Trisky, and Frank. And last but certainly not least, my delicious, I was about to say, sure, yeah, fuck it, delicious diamond sponsors. Thank you so much. EPAM, Steve Streza, official PSI. Thank you. Once again, thank you for subscribing to my channel if you are, and if you're not, that's cool too. Join my Patreon. Okay, I love you. Goodbye.